Hello everybody, my name is Alan, I'm from Sauber-Lab and today will be another video about TrueNAS Scale. In this video specifically I'm going to show a little bit more about how you can configure your dataset, your permissions, your group permissions, and how you can configure your SNB in the way that each user or each group will have access for these specific sections and that they will not have access for the rest. The reason that I want to post this video because after this revision 23.10 a lot of things change and I want to reflect this change in the order that if you get the update system you're gonna know how to do this configuration. So if you like this idea and want to learn a little bit more about it, we're gonna show in this video, but first of all don't forget to leave your like, consider subscribe for the channel if you're not subscribed yet, and let's understand a little bit more about it. As I told, we're gonna try to configure our permissions on the TrueNAS revision 23.10.01. So here on my screen I have my TrueNAS Scale open. This is the same virtual machine that I used in the previous video. I'm using a virtual machine because I don't have available any computer to do this configuration, but I do suggest you to don't use a virtual machine production because basically it's not reliable, it's only for test. Here I have 8 GB of RAM memory and I have one pool or one storage called home. This storage have one VDEV and that's it, composed with 2 hard drives. If I come here in storage, I can check the status of my disk and here I can see what is going on. So basically I have 2 disks, one with 50 GB and another with 5 GB work as a vlog, or it means that we'll create some fast cache that will only read, not writing. If I want it to be a cache that write, it will be a cache, but in this case I will leave only the log. So here everything shows that's healthy. I have my CFF healthy and that they are doing some checks every Sunday. If I come here, I don't have any problem in the smart. It's a virtual machine, so I presume that will not appear any problem in the smart. And here will be the typography or how it's work my hard drive. If I come here in dataset, I have no dataset create. Only thing that is create is application. This application is the one that we create or out create when I try to install an app here. So now we're gonna imagine that we're gonna have in a company. We're gonna have one share folder where all the users have access. So I come here and create this shared and will be saved. I'm gonna create another folder. Remember, all the time that you're gonna create, you select exactly where you're gonna create, and when you click add, it will appear what's the path. Don't forget about it, because if you don't collect or don't select the correctly path, they will save under some other data set. Now the next one will be HR, and I will create, and the last one will be engineering. So if I come here, engineering, and here will be, let's say, engineer. All the folders is not encrypted and you can see what's going on. So if I come here, this is how much space that you're using, and at the moment only one user or one group that is defined, that this user group will be root. Everyone have access to it, but only root have access to write at this stage. So now what we need to do, we need to create some groups for be able to access it. So I come here in credential, I come here in local groups and I create 2 groups. The first one will be group HR and the second one will be my group engineer. Now those 2 groups is great, but I don't have users for those groups. So now I can come here in local users. So in this case I have my user called HR, and if I come here in primary group, I will select as a HR and it's a part of HR group, and I will put OK. Now I have my engineer and my HR group create and they have access for it. What I need to do, I need to come back here in my dataset. I need to configure this dataset. To configure this dataset, let's start with my shared. I will put edit and here say that only root have access for it, but I don't want the root have access, I want everyone. So I'll set ACL and I will select as a open and put continue. What they change compared for the other revision, now they have a lot of object. So we have a user object, group object, the same thing for user and group object. Those keep as a root, don't modify it. What you need to look is the others. So everyone that's build user will have access, and if you look for the others, they have access. So everyone that be able to connect to my SMB, they will be able to access this specific share folder, exactly that I want. Now I needed to apply for this, and I need to apply again. In this way, all the users or all the subfolders will have access for it. This could take a little bit until they finish process. Once that they finish process, we can go for the next dataset. Now if you look here my right, the permissions say that everything has permission to modify. So it's great. We go here in the engineering and we're gonna modify this ACL. At the moment they say that all the others have permission to read and execute. What I don't want, I can come here, edit, set ACL, and now I want to create ACL as restrictive and I put continue. What changed in this way? They still appear that all the roots will have access, and the same thing will have access, but others will have no access, others no access, and here it's build users. Remember that if I come here back in my credential and users, let's open a second one. Here in my users, I come here engineering and edit it. They will get as the first user primary as engineer, and the second one is build users. What I need to do, if I want that only the specific users have access for it, I need to modify it. But what's the easiest way to modify? Let's modify that only engineering will have access for it. And the same thing for the default. One thing that you need to have in mind that every time you're gonna have the users and you're gonna have the default. I don't know why needed to be done this way. I know that it's about the new system that I use, but you need to have the same both. So remember, I modify for engineering group and engineer group. Here the rest is still the same way. If I want that more users will be able to do it, I always can come here and put add item. I can select another group or another user and select look like HR or let's say root, and those will be accessible, or those will be able to access those folders. So in this way, let's remove this, set ACL for all the subfolders, and the same thing that I will select here. And now I can put create and configure. This will take a little bit long as well. If I have a lot of subfolders there, will take a little bit longer. And here you create a red for only engineering will have access for it. Okay, now if you look for this page, they will already appear all the description of information that they'll have. Here if you see others, it's no access. Root will have access. Groups that will have access will be engineering groups, and as well the engineer group and these build administrators. You can remove those build administration, only leave as root and engineer, but imagine that I want to leave all the administrators to be able to access it in the future. Now here, HR, I didn't modify, so it's exactly the same step. You can do it, you can add other users. Here, if you look, one thing that I suggest you to do is to create a data protection. So if I come here in data protection, what they will have, all the home, they will check the data and see if you don't have any corruption data. But what I suggest you to do is periodic snapshots. I can select where is the data set that I want. Normally I can do backup for everything, unless some of those will be unnecessary to do some snapshots, so not select it. In my case will be home, and here will be how long this data set will be live, 2 weeks. If I want it to be 1 month, will be here, and they will do a data set or a snapshot daily. If I want hourly, will be here, daily, and continue on. Remember that if you leave a little bit lower than 1 day, every time that someone would find and that you have after 1 hour, you have that space allocated for that specific file. So unless it's really necessary, don't need to do every day. Now here I can save and they will create a data set or a snapshot every day, and here I can make automatic snapshots and force it to do. Until now you have all your dataset configured, but it's not accessible because it's not defined shared. So if I come here in the share, I can have different shares that I want. In my case, I want to use SMB because I want to choose Windows. So here I will put add I'll select what I want to share, what I suggest you to share the individual folders each time, not the home, because sometimes you don't want that others have access that specific or see that specific folder. I put no because I want to add more. And when I select the last one, then I can activate this service. So I'll put enable service. Now those folders can be accessible through the SMB. Other thing, if you look, all the shares has been created and all the file system from the ACL has been created. Here the rest of the information we're not gonna show in this video. We're gonna go in another video that is related only for backup. And in the next videos we're gonna look more for virtualization and app. It's the main difference between the others, and that's we're gonna start to create some apps and connect between themselves to be able to do a better system for you. So in this way we arrive in the end of the video. I hope that you guys like this video. If you like this video and think that it was interesting, please don't forget to leave your like, consider subscribe for the channel if you're not subscribed, and see you next time.